The stars shined brightly over the great Galactic Council. Inside a large space station that floated in the heart of the galaxy, the most powerful alien leaders had gathered. They came from many worlds, tall ones with glass skin, short ones with silver eyes and creatures made of pure light. All of them sat around a long, glowing table, speaking in many voices. Today's meeting was special. Today, they had invited someone new, a human. Ambassador Ryan stepped into the room. He was the first human ever to speak before the council. He wore a black suit, plain and simple. His face showed no fear. The aliens looked at him with wide eyes. Some whispered to each other. Others began to laugh. "Why is he alone?" one asked, voice filled with amusement. "Where is Earth's army?" said another. "They still use fuel ships and metal guns." A glowing alien chuckled. Ryan heard it all, but he didn't react. He stood quietly at the center of the room. The high chairwoman of the council, a tall alien with eyes like moons, finally spoke. "Ambassador Ryan," she said, her voice soft but cold. "We welcome you to the council. But tell us, what does Earth bring to the galaxy?" More laughter followed her words. Some aliens tapped their claws or tentacles on the table. They expected weakness. They expected fear. Ryan looked at them one by one. His face was calm, but his eyes were sharp. He slowly opened a small case he had brought with him. Inside, it was only a black cube, no bigger than a fist. It didn't shine. It didn't make noise. But somehow, it felt heavy. The room grew a little colder. "This," Ryan said, "is dark matter." The laughter stopped. Some aliens leaned forward. Others narrowed their eyes. One creature, made of smoke, floated backward without meaning to. Ryan closed the case. "You mock us," he said. "You think humans are weak, that we build slow machines and live short lives, but you do not understand us. Not yet." The council, members watched him, silent now. Earth is not just a planet, it is a challenge. For thousands of years, we fought our own nature. We survived fire, ice, war, disease, and fear. We never stopped. And when the stars called to us, we answered. One of the alien leaders finally broke the silence. "You expect us to believe you control dark matter? It destroys everything it touches." Ryan smiled. "Yes. And that's the point. We didn't find dark matter. It found us. It wanted to be used. And we listened." Another alien hissed. "This is madness." "No," said Ryan. "This is evolution." The room felt darker, now. Not because of the lights, but because something had changed. The aliens could feel it. Something was wrong, but they didn't know what. Ryan stepped back and bowed his head slightly. "We came in peace. We still do. But don't mistake our peace for weakness. You asked what Earth brings to the galaxy. We bring something new." The high chairwoman tried to speak again, but her voice was quiet now. "What is it you want from us?" "Nothing," Ryan replied. "Just respect." With that, he turned and walked out of the chamber. The council stayed silent long after he left. No more jokes. No more laughter. In a far corner of the station, behind a dark glass wall, a machine blinked to life. It had no name. It had no shape. But it was made of the same black cube Ryan had shown. It was waiting, watching, growing. And in that moment, the galaxy began to change. The room where Earth's secret project was hidden was deep under the surface of the Pacific Ocean. Thick metal walls and strong machines surrounded the scientists and soldiers who worked there. The air was cold and quiet, except for the soft hum of computers and the occasional beep from a control panel. This was where humanity's greatest secret lived, a secret the galaxy did not know yet. Dr. Maya Singh, the lead scientist, stood before a large tank filled with a strange black liquid that seemed to swallow the light around it. She touched the glass gently, her eyes full of hope and fear. "This is the Void Core," she said quietly. "It holds the power of dark matter, but controlled and shaped by human technology. It could change everything." Her team had worked, for years hiding this project from the world and the eyes of alien spies. The Void Core was not just a new energy source, it was alive in a way. It responded to commands like an intelligent being. It could bend space, create gravity fields, and maybe, just maybe, protect Earth from threats no one else could see. The soldiers nearby watched carefully. Captain James Torres, a strong man with a calm voice, kept his hand near his sidearm. "It's powerful," he said, "but also dangerous. One mistake and it could destroy everything here." Maya nodded. "That's why we have strict rules. We test it slowly. We learn. We control." Outside the hidden base, satellites and sensors scanned the skies. The Council's spies had not yet found this place. Earth had become quiet, but it was ready. One night, an alarm suddenly sounded. The Void Core was reacting. The black liquid inside the tank moved like a living shadow. Maya's team rushed to the control panels. The readings were strange: energy spikes, gravity distortions. Captain Torres ordered everyone to stand back. "Is it stable?" he asked. Maya shook her head. "It's learning. It's changing." The dark matter in the tank grew stronger, pushing against the glass. It pulsed with power, like a heartbeat. The team watched as the black liquid began to form shapes, shadows that twisted and turned, almost like hands reaching out. Outside the base, an alien scout ship hovered silently above Earth. It was small, fast, and filled with sensors designed to find any hidden secrets. The ship's pilot, a silver-skinned alien named Zelra, focused on her instruments. Suddenly, the dark energy from Earth's core appeared on her screens, a wave of power unlike anything she had ever seen. Zelra sent a quick message back to the Council. "Unusual readings from Earth. Possible new weapon or technology. Request permission to scan deeper." The Council responded quickly, ordering the scout to scan the Void Core directly. Zelra moved closer, her ship shining bright beams toward the ocean base. The sensors tried to pierce the darkness. Inside the base, the team watched the scans on their own monitors. "They're here," Maya whispered. "They know something." Then, the unexpected happened. The black liquid in the tank reacted violently. It surged upward, breaking its normal shape. The dark matter pulse shot through the ocean and out into space. The scout ship was caught in the wave. There was no explosion, no sound. But the ship vanished, disappeared without a trace. The Council's communication channel went silent. No response from the scout. Back on Earth, Maya and Torres stared at the empty screen. "What just happened?" Torres asked. Maya shook her head. "I don't know, but the Void Core just protected itself." The Council's leaders were stunned. Their laughter about humanity was fading. They began to realize Earth was hiding something dangerous, something they could not control. The Dark Matter Project was more than just science. It was a new kind of power, a power that could protect Earth and maybe change the balance of the galaxy forever. But with power came risk. The Void Core was still growing, still learning. No one knew what it might do next. Would it be a shield for humanity? Or a weapon that could destroy worlds? Deep under the ocean, the black liquid settled again. The scientists took a deep breath. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. The galaxy's view of humanity was about to change forever. The Alien Council's Great Hall buzzed with uneasy whispers. The disappearance of the scout ship near Earth had shaken them more than they would admit. No ship had ever simply vanished without a trace. The Council members exchanged worried glances, their confidence slowly slipping away. Yet outwardly, they maintained their usual cold pride. They had to. Far away from the Council chamber, Zelra, the silver-skinned pilot of the Lost Scout, lay unconscious inside a hidden escape pod drifting silently through space. Somehow, her ship had been pulled apart by an invisible force, but she survived. Now she waited to be found, or forgotten. Back on Earth, the scientists continued their secret work, studying the dark matter core. Dr. Maya Singh and Captain Torres met in the command room, eyes fixed on the readings from space. The core pulsed with power, but its behavior was unpredictable. Every test brought new surprises, new dangers. "We don't fully understand it yet," Maya said softly. "It's like it has a mind of its own." Captain Torres frowned. "And it's attracting attention. The Council won't forget this. They'll send more ships, bigger ships." Suddenly, the base's sensors detected movement outside the ocean. An alien probe was approaching, small and fast. Torres ordered the team to prepare defenses, but the probe stopped just beyond the barrier. On the probe's screen, an alien message appeared. "We come to learn. We do not want war." Maya exchanged a look with Torres. "Can we trust them?" Before anyone could answer, the black liquid in the tank began to ripple violently again. The core sent out a strange pulse that disrupted the probe's systems. It blinked off, then back on, but the message changed. "Your power frightens us. We seek understanding." The Council debated fiercely. Some wanted to destroy Earth's project. Others feared that war with humans would be too dangerous. But curiosity won. They decided to send a team to meet Earth's scientists, hoping to learn how the dark matter worked. The meeting was tense. Humans and aliens sat across from each other, eyes sharp and full of suspicion. Dr. Maya explained what they had discovered about dark matter, how it was part of the universe's deepest secrets. She warned the Council team that the core was still unpredictable. One alien leader, tall and covered in scales, asked, "If your dark matter is so strong, why didn't it attack us before?" Maya smiled slightly. "Because it listens. It protects only those who understand it." The aliens looked at each other, confused and amazed. Suddenly, the calm was broken. A massive shadow appeared near Earth's orbit, a dark cloud moving, fast through space. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't a cloud of dust. It was something alive, made of dark matter itself, spreading and growing. Alarms blared at the secret base. The Council team panicked. "Is it under your control?" one asked. "Maya," she shook her head. "No one knows. It's beyond us." The dark matter shadow moved closer to Earth's satellites, disabling them one by one. The Council's ships lost communication. Their instruments failed. Fear spread through the alien fleets. The Council's laughter had turned to silence. They could no longer ignore the threat that humanity had unleashed. Dark matter was no longer just a secret project on Earth. It was becoming a force that could change the galaxy forever. As the dark cloud grew, both humans and aliens prepared for what might come next. Would dark matter protect humanity, or would it become a danger they could no longer control? The answer was hidden in the shadows of space, waiting to be revealed. The dark shadow that moved through space was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. It was not made of metal, nor stone, nor fire. It was a living cloud of dark matter, growing and shifting with a strange, slow intelligence. It spread out from Earth's orbit like a silent storm, swallowing stars' light and bending the very fabric of space around it. In the Council's chambers, fear filled the air. The alien leaders had spent centuries controlling wars, trade, and alliances, but this was something new, something uncontrollable. The dark cloud was not a ship, not a weapon they knew. It was a force of nature, or something worse. High chairwoman, Lyra sat stiffly at her place, her eyes scanning the reports coming in from the front lines. Star systems near Earth were losing power. Communications failed. Entire fleets of smaller ships had been swallowed by the dark cloud without a fight. The Council's technology could not pierce the darkness. "What are we facing?" a young counselor asked, voice trembling. Lyra shook her head slowly. "We do not know. But this could be the end of our reign if we do not act." Back on Earth, the scientists watched the readings with growing concern. The Void Core's pulse was matching the dark cloud's movements. Dr. Maya Singh realized the two were connected. One was feeding the other, or perhaps they were the same thing. The dark matter was alive and expanding, far beyond their control. "Captain," Torres stood near the command console. If this keeps growing, it will reach the nearby planets. It will swallow the stations and the Council's fleets. Earth could be blamed. Or worse, it could lose control. Maya's eyes were fixed on the screen. We have to find a way to stop it, or at least slow it down. The Council scrambled their forces, sending warships and scientific vessels to study and contain the dark cloud. But every time a ship moved close, the darkness seemed to reach out, bending space and swallowing them whole. It was like a living shadow that did not want to be caught. The alien fleets were trapped in a nightmare. They watched their ships disappear one by one, unable to fight the invisible enemy. Some ships tried to shoot it with lasers and plasma bolts, but the attacks passed through harmlessly, as if fired into a black hole. Meanwhile, rumors spread across the galaxy. Traders, smugglers, and explorers whispered about the dark cloud from Earth. Some called it a curse, others a new weapon. A few believed it was a sign that humans had reached a power beyond anyone's understanding. In the middle of this chaos, the Council sent a message to Earth. It was a demand. Stop the spread of dark matter, or we will destroy your planet. The message reached Dr. Singh and Captain Torres. They knew the risk. They also knew the truth. Dark matter was not a tool anymore. It had become something alive, something that even humans could not fully control. We have to warn them, Maya said. If the Council attacks, it could start a war that destroys us all. Torres nodded. We must show them we want peace. But first, we have to find out what this dark cloud really is. As the dark matter shadow spread silently through space, Earth prepared for the next move. The galaxy was changing, and no one knew if it was for better or worse. The darkness was growing, the Council was afraid, and humanity was at the center of a mystery that might decide the fate of all worlds. The Council's patience was gone. 50 of their greatest warships, each larger than cities, formed a massive fleet near Earth's orbit. The ship's engines glowed bright, lighting the darkness of space like distant suns. Their leaders sent a final message. Surrender your project, stop your experiments, or face total destruction. On Earth, the secret base was tense. Captain Torres looked at the massive fleet through the satellite feeds. They want war, he said quietly. Doctor. Maya Singh studied the readings. The void core pulsed steadily, but the dark cloud outside continued to grow, creeping like a shadow into space. We have no choice. We must defend ourselves. The Council's warships moved closer, their weapons ready to fire. Alien crews, prepared for battle, confident their power was unmatched. But Earth had a plan. In a small hangar hidden beneath the ocean, a tiny drone waited. It was no bigger than a bird, but inside it carried a piece of dark matter, a small black orb, carefully controlled by human technology. The drone was designed for one mission, to show the Council the true power of the Void Core. Captain Torres stood before the drone's launch console, his hand steady as he pressed the button. The drone shot out from the base, faster than any missile, heading straight for the Council fleet. On the command bridge of the largest Council ship, alarms screamed. As the drone approached, the black orb inside the drone began to glow, pulsing with energy. Suddenly, space around the drone bent and twisted. A dark rift opened beneath the fleet, a hole in space itself, swirling with black and purple shadows. 3 warships nearest. The drone were pulled toward the rift. Crew members screamed as their ships were torn apart by the strange force. Then, in the blink of an eye, the rift closed. The ships were gone. Only silence remained where they once floated. Panic spread through the Council fleet. The remaining ships tried to retreat, but fear had taken hold. The once confident leaders realized they faced a power far beyond their understanding. Back on Earth, the team watched the scene on their monitors. Maya's voice was steady but filled with awe. This is the power of dark matter, not just a weapon, a force that can change the fabric of space. Captain Torres turned to his team. We have shown them we are not weak. We have shown them we will fight to protect Earth. The council called an emergency meeting. The remaining leaders argued fiercely, blaming each other for underestimating humanity. The warships regrouped, but their confidence was broken. The galaxy had seen something new. Humans, wielding dark matter as a weapon unlike any before. But the victory was only the beginning. The dark matter force was growing stronger. It was no longer just a tool in human hands. It was becoming a living power that could decide the fate of many worlds. As the Council fleet retreated, the galaxy held its breath. Humanity had stepped onto a new stage. The old rules no longer applied. The war for control of dark matter and the future of the galaxy was just beginning. The silence after the Council fleet's retreat was heavy. Earth's secret base buzzed with activity, but beneath the surface, worry grew like a shadow. The dark matter was no longer just a tool or a weapon. It was becoming something else, something alive. Something that no one, not even the scientists, could fully control. Dr. Maya Singh spent long hours studying the void core. The black liquid pulsed and shifted, sometimes calm, sometimes wild like a storm. It responded to human commands, but also seemed to act on its own. It was learning, growing, and evolving in ways they had never expected. One night, Maya stood alone in the lab, watching the dark core glow softly in its tank. Suddenly, the core changed shape, reaching out like a hand made of shadow. Maya stepped back, heart pounding. The core pulsed faster, sending waves of energy through the room. It was alive. It was communicating. Captain Torres arrived, seeing the glow. "Is it dangerous?" he asked. Maya nodded slowly. "It's not just energy. It's intelligence. Something new has been born." Across the galaxy, the Council was recovering from its defeat. Some leaders wanted to launch a full-scale invasion of Earth. Others feared that attacking would only make things worse. A secret faction within the Council began to study dark matter in their own labs, desperate to understand the power humans had unlocked. But the dark matter was already changing the galaxy in unexpected ways. Nearby star systems began to experience strange phenomena, gravity waves, flickering stars, and sudden disappearances of small ships. The dark cloud was no longer just near Earth. It was spreading, like a living shadow growing larger and stronger. Earth's leaders held emergency meetings. They knew they could not stop the dark matter alone. They needed allies, or they needed to be ready for a war unlike any other. Ambassador Ryan returned to the Council chambers, this time not as a visitor but as a warning. His voice was calm but firm. Dark matter is not a weapon to be controlled. It is a new form of life, one that will not be bound by old rules. We must find a way to live with it, or it will consume us all. The Council was divided. Some refused to listen, still blinded by fear and pride. Others began to see that humanity's power was not just in technology, but in understanding and respect for this new force. Meanwhile, deep beneath the ocean, the void core pulsed with growing strength. It had become something more than a machine, or a weapon. It was a guardian, a mystery, and a challenge. It waited for the moment when it would decide the fate of Earth and the galaxy. And so, the future remained uncertain. The Council's mockery was gone, replaced by fear and respect. Humanity had awakened a power older than the stars, and now all must choose, to fight, to flee, or to join in the dark dance of the void. The galaxy held its breath as tensions grew ever higher. The dark matter shadow was no longer just a threat. It had become a force that could change everything. Earth stood at the center of this storm, the secret power of the void core pulsing like a heartbeat beneath the ocean. Dr. Maya Singh and Captain James Torres worked tirelessly, trying to understand the strange intelligence growing inside the core. The dark matter was not only alive, but it seemed to feel, responding to emotions, learning from fear and hope alike. It was as if humanity had awakened a new form of life, something ancient and powerful beyond comprehension. Meanwhile, the Council's forces gathered in secret. The divide among the alien leaders had deepened. Some wished to destroy Earth and its dark matter core before it could grow stronger. Others feared that war would only spread the darkness across the galaxy, causing chaos no one could control. In the shadow of this uncertainty, a bold decision was made. A small group of diplomats and scientists from the Council would travel to Earth, not to attack, but to negotiate. They sought to understand the Void Core and the new life it had awakened. The meeting was tense. The Council delegates arrived at the hidden base, greeted by wary humans. Words were exchanged carefully, each side trying to trust the other while fearing betrayal. Dr. Singh spoke for humanity. This power is not a weapon to destroy, but a force to protect. We do not fully control it, but we believe it can bring balance to the galaxy. The Council's lead diplomat, a tall figure with shimmering blue skin, responded, "We have seen what dark matter can do. We have felt its power and its danger. We must find a way to live with it, or we will all suffer." Slowly, trust began to grow. Together, humans and aliens worked to learn more about the Void Core. They shared knowledge, studied the dark clouds spreading through space, and sought a way to contain it without destroying it. But the dark matter was not just a tool or a weapon, it was a new kind of life, wild and free. It could not be controlled like machines of the past. It demanded respect, understanding, and caution. As humans and aliens stood together, watching, the dark cloud drifted silently through the stars. A new hope was born. The galaxy's future was uncertain, but for the first time, there was a chance for peace. The Council no longer mocked humanity. Instead, they saw them as a force to be reckoned with, a species that had faced the darkness and survived. And the Void Core pulsed softly, waiting for the next step in its mysterious journey, a reminder that the universe still held secrets beyond imagining. The story of dark matter, of power and fear, of war and peace, had only just begun.